exactly. If we show you exactly and you don't get it, then what are we going to do? So we give you general outlines, because then the thinking man, the wise man, is going to see from the general outline, from the signs, from the ayat, he will see the whole reality there. Like in Turkish, they say if you see a minaret, you know that there is a town. You don't have to let anyone to convince you that time. I elaborate a little bit, talked a little bit more about it today after the Jummah. Pull yourself back a little bit. Don't be busy. Outside physically and also inside. Outside physically, don't be too busy looking at things, circling around if it's not necessary. Inside, don't be too busy circling around with your heart elsewhere. You understand? With so many things, Shaitan, now he's being very busy. He's being extremely busy right now, especially before Barat, to fool the Ummati Muhammad, so that they are not going to get a good Barat. What is a Barat? These days they are encouraging people not to believe in these holy days and nights. They call him Laylatul Barat, Shabi Barat, 15th of Shaban. Shaban is the month of the Prophet ﷺ. And in it, it is a very holy night that the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, where all the records of your deeds, good and bad, is going to be lifted. It's going to be taken, and it is going to be sealed. No one can change it. Until when? Alhamdulillah, shukr. Until when? Until Judgment Day. You cannot open it. Which means that right now there is still a chance for us to change that. This Barat, every Barat, destiny will be written for you for the next year. You say, what do you mean destiny? Isn't destiny already said? Yeah. What destiny do you understand by destiny? There is something that is general. There is something that is a bit more specific. There is something that is more detailed. There is something that guides you from day to day. And certain destinies, it can be changed. You cannot put a limit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power now. If Allah is saying it's like this, then later Allah is saying it's like that, can anyone object? No. Is there proof of that? Of course. Even the Quran is proof of that. Some ayats saying this, then later other ayats is revealed to cancel the law of the previous ayats. And Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying the dua, it is very powerful, because the dua now will be able to change the destiny. So the days leading up to Laylatul Barat, where the angels are going to bring all the records of everything that you've done, and whatever that you've done is going to change, is going to determine, is going to affect how the next year is going to be. So if the deeds are lifted, if the deeds are kept, and those deeds only showing good things that is there, then Allah will order the angels to open your way to more goodness in the next year, in the coming year. If it is filled with bad things, then Allah is going to say, because of what we have done now, it will affect. And say now, because He is closing now the doors of Rahmat by His actions, will make it a little bit more difficult. You have to understand, easy and difficult too is not according to what we consider to be easy and difficult. So many people, they look at dunya first. If the dunya is easy, that means it is easy. That means they are very blessed. Since when? Since when? So if the dunya is easy, their work is easy, their children, everything is easy, oh, I'm so blessed. But if it's a little bit difficult, they say, oh, I'm not blessed. We must speak like believers. We're in the way of tasawwuf to understand what is the reality that is behind it. Whatever that we're doing, it has to make our iman, our faith, our trust in Allah, our knowledge of ourselves and knowledge of Allah to be higher, not to be stuck. So many people, their world is open for them and they are stuck. They may not even know. They think, oh, I'm so blessed. But are you learning more about yourself? Are you learning more about your Lord? Are you worshipping your Lord more? No, you're not. Then that is a curse to you, as Allah is saying in so many ayats now. This world, your wives, your children, everything you possess is nothing but a confusion for you. Look at the lives of the prophets. Look at the lives of so many awliya. By today's standard, it is so difficult. Some, their children don't listen. Some, their wives don't listen. Some others are trying to kill them. Some, they're faced with so much difficulties. But you cannot say the prophets, their maqam goes down. No, with every day, their station rises higher and higher and higher. So to know where you are, to know if you are stuck or not, to know that in these days is already marifat. Where is your faith now? What is the level? What is the gauge? We have to start all over again. People entering into tasawwuf, they know nothing these days. All they know is if I make some zikr, I see something, then my maqam is very high. I make some zikr, I feel something, then I'm very close to Allah. No. That is not what it is, especially not for this Ahir Zaman. So now in the time of Barat, you're saying now everything is going to be submitted. Whole year I have been sleeping. I have not been doing properly. Now at least let me to make a little bit more extra zikr. Let me to make more tafakkur. What is tafakkur? To sit and to understand what you have done, to ask for Allah's forgiveness for the wrong things you have done, and to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the ni'mat, to give shukr now, to give a very simple understanding of what is tafakkur. And the Prophet ﷺ is saying, to make 1 hour of tafakkur, it is better than 70 years of worship. What is sohbat but tafakkur? Isn't it? To make you to think. The word fikr comes from that, to make you to think. You may be going up and down for 70 years, but to just sit and to understand what you've done, why you've done, to be thinking. And Allah has given intelligence to man, not to animals, not even to angels, to use that intelligence and to use that will. It is better than 70 years of worship. Now you make some then. Make some zikr, make some tafakkur, make some ibadat. As for forgiveness, then that time the record of what you've done from last barat until this barat is only showing good. When that seals and that goes up there, then the next year more good things are going to open to you. Like I said, good things as a believer. Don't think good things as an unbeliever. Don't say good things as a person coming from dunya. Ahli dunya, good things is only when the dunya is open to them. Ahli Ahirat looks at it completely different. Ahli dunya, they say, what is good? I must have wealth, I must have health, and I must have long life. Because what good is a wealth and a health if you don't have a long life to enjoy, correct? This is everyone is doing. Muslims are praying for this too. I remember growing up, they're telling us, you see, the dua is saying, we're asking for the goodness, Ya Rabbi, fit dunya wal akhirah. Fit dunya wal akhirah. First it is dunya, don't you know? We're asking goodness first for dunya, last then is akhirat. It's not last, it's only next. But what is your understanding of dunya? If your understanding of dunya is a Firaun, then that time you want your palaces, you want your cars, you want the luxury. If you are defining dunya, looking at what dunya is, the goodness of the dunya according to the prophets, then that time, as the Prophet ﷺ says, prepare yourself for hardship. Because one Bedouin came to him and said, Ya Rasulullah, I love you. Prophet ﷺ says, prepare yourself for hardship. Yes, now you're starting to understand the way of love. The way of love is hardship. So the best of the dunya, what is the best of the dunya? We're asking Allah not to test us. We have, what is coming, not to be running and concerned and to be obsessed about just enjoying from the pleasures and the treasures of this dunya, but the dunya that you don't have to run after, so that not only your days and your actions, but also your heart is free now to worship, free to sit, free to think. This is the important thing. This is the best of the dunya. Because the one who has everything in this dunya, living like a Firaun, he has the worst of the dunya. He doesn't have the best. Don't you know? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, the proof, the sign that Allah doesn't love that servant, He's not even going to give him a toothache. No trouble. There is a sign that Allah doesn't love that one. No trouble at all is good. Not even a toothache. So that one is going to, you think that one is going to remember Allah? No, he's going to be sunk in just comfort and pleasure. And don't you see the majority? They are running after that. They only want that. But the ones that Allah loves, and the ones who love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they don't wish for each other health and wealth and long life. The Sahabi-Kiram, they wish for each other poverty, sickness, and early death. I'm not joking. This is what they wish for each other. Now you're asking in the way of tasawwuf, this is that. They're asking, they're saying, we wish you to have sickness. We wish you to be poor. We wish you to have early death. These things, oh, if you say that to Muslims these days, this is why you're cursing me. We are not asking Allah to test us. But understand now the level of faith that the Sahabi-Kiram they have. Because what is the understanding of poverty now? To be poor. So that their heart is not in this dunya to look for the comforts of this dunya. They don't believe in the comfort of this dunya. Where are we and where are they? Huh? Check yourself. We want everyone's running to be healthy these days. Whole world running away from fasting. And now you're seeing one way or another, especially in America, now more and more people, they're fasting. There's another secret that is given to this nation too. That one way or another, Allah is showing the blessing and the mercy too. Now more and more people, they are fasting and they're understanding the benefits of fasting and Ramadan. One way or another, they're going to get blessed. So people are looking for health. But health for what? Health so that you can enjoy your life longer? You can run after your ego? No, the health has to be for Allah's sake. How many are really thinking that way? Now they're looking at Ramadan too. It's just, they're making everything to be as the unbelievers are. What is Ramadan? Just like Christmas. What do you mean like Christmas? It's all about family. It's all about good food. It's all about good times. It's all about sharing. Then that's same with anything else. But when that Sahabi-Kiram is wishing the ill health, sickness, they are understanding what is the spiritual value, the benefit of sickness. What happens when you are sick? That is if you understand. Majority, they don't understand. But what happens to you when you're sick? First, when you're sick, you understand how weak you are. How weak, how delicate your existence is. With any little thing that's happening, you're off balance. Even if it is what? A headache. Correct? Even with a headache. You are strong, you can do it. But just a slight headache, oh, your whole day is spoiled. Your week is spoiled. You can't do it. Oh, I have a headache. Oh. It is like a punishment, isn't it? You understand how weak you are. You have a toothache, forget about it. Everyone must serve you now. If you have a cold, if you have a fever, you have this. Understanding, making man to remember that he is weak. He is what? He is a creature. Man who is declaring himself Lord. No other creature that Allah has created, including the angels, including the throne-bearing angels, that nothing in creation is as big as the throne. And there are angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created that is huge. We cannot imagine. Your mind will blow up thinking about how huge these angels are. Imagine yourself, imagine this planet, imagine this this galaxy, imagine all the galaxies in the world, imagine this universe, imagine the multiverses, imagine it's infinite. And that is nothing. It will sink in the first level of the heavens that Allah has created. And there are 7. And beyond that is the throne of Allah, that Allah is saying to His Holy Prophet ﷺ, step on my throne with your shoes. That's why we're wearing this. This is His shoes. My throne will be blessed with that. There's another big secret there. But there are angels who are carrying it. Those angels who are carrying it. But Allah has given us what? Not that He's not giving to the angels, He's not giving to the animals. What is given us? Huh? What was I talking about before? Intelligence. That's a different kind. Now, that intelligence, it is to know Allah and to worship Him. Whatever that the angels and all other creatures that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, they are not given that way to know Him. To know Him is only for Hazrati Insan. You understand? You have so many friends, you have so many relatives, but you may find that there's only one, maybe one, and you're lucky if you have one person who really knows you. And that one, the mother say, I know you. Says, no, you don't know me, mother. You only know me as a child growing up, but you still want me to be this child. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given that to mankind, to Hazrati Insan. What are we going to do with all of that? What are we going to do with that intelligence? What are we going to do now for these holy days and nights if it is not to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So, the sickness, it is designed there to make man to know that he is to understand that he is very small, that he is a creature. No other creature is declaring itself Lord. No creature. Not even the angels. Shaitan is not declaring himself Lord except for mankind. And Allah now is reminding us, who is your Lord? For the one who is thinking. Put aside all those things. Yes, it gets you closer to Allah. You're going to remember Allah. All those things are for people who are thinking. And I'm saying generally, whether you're a believer or unbeliever, you know how weak you are. Now that is the first step now. So, inshallah, those are our role models. And they're wishing for each other early death. And why is that early death? Because they are very modest people. And they're saying, the shorter it is, the less opportunity for us to commit wrong actions. Longer life that we have, the more chance that we're going to make mistakes. It's one of the reasons why we pray very quickly too. Understand? So they wish that to each other. Our faith is very far away from that. So Laylatul Barat, it is a chance for us now, in those nights, in these holy nights, because these 3 months of Rajab, Shaban and Ramazan back to back. The Rajab is the month of Allah, Shaban is the month of the Prophet, and Ramazan is the month of the Ummah. In the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are 2 holy nights there, but the 2 holy nights concern themselves with the Prophet ﷺ, which is Raghaib and the night of Miraj. In the month of the Prophet ﷺ, it's not there concerning the Prophet. It concerns what? The Ummah, us. So the secret is whatever is in the heart of that. And in the month of Shaban is right in the center, in the middle of the month of Shaban, in the middle of these 3 months. Now you have Ramazan, that is the month of the Ummah. And Ramazan, it has one holy night that is hidden. And that is the night of what? Laylatul Qadr. And Laylatul Qadr, in the month of the Ummah, it concerns Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qadr, the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are coming to that, those days. Shaitan is very busy in these days because he knows that he's going to get chained in the month of Ramadan. So before he gets himself chained, he says we must make as much fitna as possible. We must train everyone to behave so that when we get chained, they will continue to behave in a shaitanic way. We don't have to be there. We already trained them enough. In some ways, in a lot of ways, the 3 holy months also, sometimes it may come light and sometimes it is very heavy. And this year is heavy. Because don't you see, Shaitan, they're getting more and more powerful. Now they're trying to motorize whole nations now to become shaitanic and to now start to destroy each other. In the time of Jahiliyyah, in the holy months, even the mushriks, they stopped fighting. In this second Jahiliyyah, Muslims are killing other Muslims. So Shaitan is very busy. Pull yourself back. The modesty, just pull yourself back. So many things are circling outside. So many things are circling inside. Pull yourself back. Say, I don't have to think about those things. I'm not going to be so upset about those things. I'm just going to pull to be with my Lord and to thank Him. What we said today, Shaykh Efendi said in the old days, they say we see old men in the masjids. They're 70, 80, 90-year-old men. They say every time we see them, they're always worshipping, they're always praying. But we see them in the masjid, they are sitting for 2-3 hours, crying and begging for forgiveness from their Lord. He says they're not doing anything wrong, but they spend their whole time begging Allah for mercy. He says these are holy people. And we know that they're holy people, and we go to them, we kiss their hands. Be simple. To be modest is to be simple. You may have a lot of things going on, people saying these days, I have a lot of things going on, inshallah. Pull yourself back. Be simple. You don't know how to be around simple people. They'll explain to you how to be by their lifestyle. Take your tasbih, sit somewhere, quiet, and be with your Lord. These are the months that traditionally they enter into seclusion. The sheikhs and the murids, sheikhs that send the murids into seclusion too. Take this opportunity between the time of Asr and Maghrib to sit down for a few minutes and make the intention to enter into seclusion. You're going to get the blessings of that as if you entered into seclusion. Then prepare yourself for Ramadan. Otherwise, you enter into Ramadan not prepared. You're going to enter with your ego, and you're going to leave with your ego too. You get nothing from the month that you're supposed to be harvesting all the good deeds that you have put. So, Barat, it is important. Inshallah, if Allah gives us life like this or like that, Monday night is going to be entering. There are a lot of prayers that you can do, but don't wait until that night too. Don't wait until Ramadan to fast. That's why in the month of Shaban it is beloved by the Prophet to fast, ﷺ. Don't wait until Barat to start preparing for Barat. Don't wait until you die to start preparing for death. Our whole purpose of being alive is to prepare ourselves for the next stage. And the people who are entering into Tasawwuf is always in preparation. Inshallah, this is for me first and for you. Anyone who's listening, you take it. You don't like it, it's okay. Leave it. I will take it, inshallah. I am in need of it. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha.